What's going on, guys? Blake Hawthorn, Itshisturf. We're out here on the 3-acre pond build, and the water is coming up in a hurry. We had some really good rains over the weekend. Water came up about 3 feet, so now I've got to get some waders on and get these brush piles put where I want them and sunk out here in the pond. Also, as you saw in last week's intro, the straw that we had got spread now has some green grass that is starting to germinate, so it won't be long, and we'll have really nice green lush grass all the way around this pond edge, and can't wait for that to happen. But in today's video, what you're going to get to see is finally breaking ground. So you've seen the vision, you've seen the pre-planning and the placement, but in today's video, we're going to be dropping all the big trees, we're going to be scraping the topsoil, and we're going to be building the levee. So let's go ahead, let's jump over to the studio where me and Kevin are going to give you guys the play-by-play. All right, guys, and the first tree goes down. What do you say, timber? I think something like that. But this is where I was standing in the intro. So I wanted you to see a perspective of where we are today to where we were when we were breaking ground, finally clearing the trees. You know, now we have the place laid out where the pond's going. We've gone through all of the pre-planning, all of the clearing of the woods, and we are left with the major trees to get those cleared and cleaned up. And the major thing was I left all of these trees so that I wouldn't have just this big open field between my house and my woods to get it all cleaned up.
And the fact we don't have the equipment to take those big trees down.
Yeah, our little excavator, 17 horse, would have had a hard time getting all those dug up, and
would have taken a long time,
a really long time. And this D6 makes it look, you know, super easy. And you know, the builder took care of that for us. Said, hey, I just want to be able to get, you know, set up so that I can shoot, you know, his laser to get his measurements, you know, figure out the flagging of the pond where it's going to hit. And he needed the brush and stuff cleared. So these few trees did get in the way the day we were shooting all that, but not near like it did when it was all wooded.
Right. It's pretty cool to look at the video, and this thing looks really tiny in these videos, but that is a massive machine.
Yeah, so the operator, if you ever see him in the video, he's like 6'7", 6'8", huge guy. I mean, he makes the average human look small, but yeah, you put me over there beside it, and I'm like barely coming up above that rear track.
Right.
This machine, it makes everything look super easy. I want one of these to just finish playing on the rest of my property, but the bad thing is it may all be filled at that point.
You wouldn't have a tree left on the property if we got you one of those.
Yeah, and we're already going to upset enough people with how many trees we cleared. And just, you know, for me to plead my case, I did save a lot of the logs for firewood.
Right.
We did cut a lot of the logs out of the brush piles and use them for fish habitat in the ponds.
Right.
And then I kept some of the hickory for walking sticks and also some of the other hardwood for some furniture and beams, different pieces in the cabin.
And we do have a game plan of planting other trees around.
Yeah, we're calling it reforestation, where we're going to come in and plant, you know, willow trees, cypress trees, maples, redbuds, and things like that, just to really, you know, kind of add back to the area that we cleared so much of it. But, you know, also you have to think about, yes, we are taking trees out, but we're creating an ecosystem as well and bringing this pond in that is going to add so much, you know, for the wildlife in that area.
And what's cool is that even right now, you know, you guys are seeing the very beginnings, but the pond is done, and we're already seeing deer and ducks, and I think you've even seen some geese out there.
Some geese, yep.
So
no fish yet.
No fish, but the animals, some of the animals are already starting to find the pond, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
They're quickly finding it and being able to utilize it.
Yeah, I had some people comment on the last video about Bama Bass and his pond and, you know, all the wildlife and stuff like that. And I've been following him for a while. He was an inspiration for this, you know, pond build and stuff as well, even though I've been thinking about this for years and planning it. But yeah, it is really neat to kind of see all of that wildlife. Even though we don't film it, you know, like he does, it is neat to be able to personally experience it and see them all coming in and enjoying it. But the trees are cleared now, guys. We are on the next part of the phase of the project where we are taking all of the topsoil off of where the pond's going. And the reason you take the topsoil off is because that's usually where a lot of your roots are. So you got to go down about 12 inches and get all of the dirt, all the roots, the grass, all of that, because those roots and that grass is going to be what decomposes and creates some voids and some major settling issues. And for some reason, I thought we were going to put this in a pile. I don't know. Just in my head, I thought it was going in a pile.
I think it's because we're landscapers, and that's what we do. We put things in piles and then utilize it in a project.
Yeah.
And like
that makes sense.
That's the way we thought it was going to be.
Right. Yeah, I did. I thought, okay, so we're going to make a big pile of topsoil over here. We're going to have a big
pile
pile
of
of clay.
clay.
Yeah, a big pile of slate. And then we're going to start building it in these stages. And no, that is not at all what happened.
Nope.
And so all this gets pushed to the back of the levee, just really gets pushed out of sight, out of mind, towards the back.
Yeah,
and
he's putting it right against the tree line.
Yes.
Which the tree line ended up getting pushed back even farther.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 times we have to push it back even further because as you're building that levee, it's on a 3-to-1 rise. So for every foot the levee comes up, it goes out 3 feet in both directions. So a 1 foot tall levee is 6 feet wide total in width. And the dozer, this was kind of a slow process. I think he did get started on this project a little early, trying to get his guys finishing up another project. So you see,
so he didn't have the manpower here.
Right. So you see machines here, but there's only one operator for a couple days as he's running that 600 feet of the pond and just pushing everything.
I can't imagine being him inside that bulldozer all day.
The monotony
though.
of it.
Oh, man. Just backing up 600 feet, pushing dirt 600 feet, backing up 600 feet.
Right, and sometimes he did break it in half and halves. You'd see him like push the whole front half to the middle,
right,
and then move up and start pushing from the middle to the end.
Right.
But even though it's a huge machine with a big blade, you see these windrows, so it's got to be defeating to just know every time you push, you've got another pile of dirt there.
Right.
But we did get another operator here this day. This is where we start to work on the levee. You'll see him going across it now. I thought in my head we were going to be coring it, so this is going to be the big debate, okay? Right. Here we are, guys. This is our major concern, question, and where we want some of the interaction from you guys at home. And what it is going to be, what are we going to call it, Team Blake or Team Contractor?
Okay.
All right, there we go. So I thought in my head, based on the videos, here I am researching YouTube to figure out how to tell somebody to do their job. Right. But I thought that we needed to core it, and that coring would have been on this pond digging down to dirt or rock.
Right, to solid ground.
Solid ground, yeah. And then going 6 foot deep or as far as you could possibly go without tearing up the equipment.
Right.
10 feet wide so you can get a roller in there, you can get a machine in there, and you can work it all in and do it in lifts.
Start lining that with clay.
Right. And build it, basically sealing off any water that was going to try to escape through the bottom of the pond or through the levee, and then it also locks the levee in. So when this thing's finished and built, it's going to be over 10 million gallons of water.
That's a lot of pressure.
I can't imagine the pressure that it's going to have against it. And so I just thought, could it not just, push it out of the way? Like the waves against it and all this pressure, could it not just, slide it out of the hill?
Right.
And I thought the key would, lock it in. The contractor assured me, hey, I've done a lot of these, been doing it for, 40 years. Just let me do my job. And,
not being one to be like some of our clients.
Right,
You didn't stay on him because I did push you
a
few times to be like, well, go talk to him.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't want to be that guy.
I mentioned it a few times, and I should have stood my ground. Who knows? I think we'll find out. We have about an acre of water in there right now. Yeah. In the next couple months or weeks, depending on how much rain we keep getting, I may know sooner than later. But
right.
I hope it holds. And I don't know, but we want to know you guys' opinion at home. What do you think? Should we have cored it and keyed it in, or should we not? Are we going Team Blake or Team Contractor, that we are good the way we are?
Have you seen ponds that weren't cored?
And how did they do?
Yeah.
And if there's a video, can you leave it in the comments so I can check it out, maybe just to have a peace of mind?
Yeah, because he's stressed.
I worry about it a lot. And you'll probably see more of that in the weeks to come in the next videos. But in next week's video, I'll kind of give you a little sneak peek, and that is going to be, we're going to get into shaping this pond out. And you're going to see a lot of stuff going on. So I know it's been slow getting into this series, but it is about to just take off with the pond build. And for some reason, when you finally see water going into the pond, it just makes all these videos so much better than just watching dirt and dust
get pushed
fly everywhere. But guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. We appreciate your interaction. We appreciate your support, and we couldn't do this without you guys. So please leave it in the comments down below. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless.